All right, so all right. All right. So now this uh, CAT 18 is morning slot 1 is over, and here are the reviews. The analysis is not very different from what we had experienced in the last year. If you talk about the first section, verbal ability and reading comprehension, this year we saw 5 reading comprehension passages. Passage 1, and the best part was all the reading comprehension, in my paper at least, all the reading comprehension were in one line. So, and then after question number 25 to question number 34, we had 10 questions of verbal ability, and then question number 1 to question number 25 we had this this reading comprehension section. Reading comprehension 1 was a very easy passage, 2 again was very easy, 3 again was easy, 4th one was a moderate one, and 5th one again was a moderate one. 4 reading comprehensions had 5 questions each, and 1 reading comprehension had 4 questions. So overall 24 questions in reading comprehension. The questions were not very difficult, they were easy. In verbal ability as well, if you see question number in verbal ability as well, if you see in verbal ability, question number 25 was a parajumble question, 26 was a parajumble question, 27 was an odd man out, 28 was an odd man out, 29 was summary, again odd man out, summary, parajumble. So, and parajumble. So 4 questions of parajumble, 3 questions of summary, and 3 questions of odd man out. Last year we saw verbal ability questions to be quite lengthy. This year the verbal ability questions were very short. The parajumbles were like one-liners, and we had 6 to 7 questions of non-MCQ type questions, wherein the negative marks was, there was no negative for marking those answers, and the rest of the questions in verbal ability were MCQ. A good number of questions, I think, in verbal ability would be around, I think, 22 to 23 questions, let's take it. So 22 to 23, if you have done in verbal ability, that would be a good number of attempts. The difficulty level of English section would be moderate. 2 questions of odd man out, I found those questions to be a bit confusing. Parajumble as well, 1 question was confusing. The rest all questions were not very difficult, easily doable. And I think most of our students from Fundamakers will not find much of a problem solving verbal ability section. Coming to DILR, DILR was a surprise this year, not very difficult. Last year people panicked seeing DILR section. This year the DILR section was a much easy one. People who have been solving very difficult caselets will be very happy this year. Why? Because some of the questions were very direct. For example, in DI, the first, I'll tell you question by question. In my paper, the first question was arrangement type of question. The second again was an arrangement type question. The third was a puzzle, and fourth was a puzzle in LR. So we had 4 caselets in LR, each carrying 4 questions. So total 16 questions in LR and 16 questions in DI. Last year we saw questions in which it was very difficult to determine if it was an LR question or a DI question. This year, contrary to that, this year we have very easy questions, and you can easily rectify if it is a DI question or a LR question. Puzzles, we saw 2 questions from puzzle, 2 questions of arrangements. So if you are good at arrangements, you will easily solve them. Coming back to LR question, DI questions. In DI, we had 1 table question, not table, in fact, I will say arrangement kind of question. In DI, wherein some data was given, some data was missing, and you have to find out as to, you have to first fill in the data and then try to find the right answers, which was not very difficult. One was Sudoku based, wherein n into n का एक slot दिया हुआ था, and you have to fill in the numbers and try to find the right answers. So one was Sudoku based question, one was arrangement question in DI, arrangement based question in DI. One was a pie chart question. Pie chart question was like थोड़ा सा different type का pie chart था, ऐसा normally हम लोग नहीं देखते हैं, जिसमें there was one complete pie chart in which 2 years 2017-18 was given, and then half division was talking about 1 year and half of the division was talking about 1 year. It was not like, if you don't see it if you see it nicely, you will be able to get the right questions. If you see with a not very keen eye, possibly you will find that question difficult, but if you see it very carefully, the question was not very difficult, right? Some maths concept was also applied because the data given was in arithmetic progression. You have to find out the right arithmetic progression things and then possibly mark the right answers. So not a very difficult caselet. A good number of attempts from LR and DI would be around 18 to 20. A good student will obviously solve more than 20, but 16 to 20 questions would be a very good number of attempts in LR DI. Coming back to quants. Quants was a surprise. This was different from what we saw last year. Last year questions were very direct. Last year questions were not very, difficult for that sense, because DILR was, because quants was rated to be easy in comparison to what we have seen in the last years. But this year, I think quants has taken a bit of a leap, not because of reason that the questions were very difficult, because the questions were a bit confusing. Some of the questions were pure logical. You will not be given some data, still you have to find some answers. So first try to find the data, and based on that data, you have to find out the answers. I'll give you the breakup. In my section, in my paper today, I had 13 questions of arithmetic, 7 questions of geometry, 8 questions of algebra, 4 questions of number system, and 2 from Venn diagram. Venn diagram questions were easy, you can easily crack them. Number system questions were not very easy. Geometry questions, the diagrams were not given, you have to draw the diagrams and then try to find the answers, so they were a bit time consuming. Algebra, again, logs ke 4 questions says, so again I will consider algebra to be not very easy kind of question, like not very difficult as well though, but again not as easy as we saw in the last year. And the arithmetic questions were surprising, they were very lengthy. If you don't manage time, possibly you will find a lot of problem scoring in this particular section. The key to perform in this section is to first identify as to what questions you have to touch. So basically when you go for CAT evening session, follow one advice. In the paper you have one tab wherein you can, in the uppermost corner, the right side uppermost corner, wherein you can go and scan the paper. You can just go through the paper without even going for save and next. You can just click it and the paper will appear in a PDF form. Read the questions for 5 minutes, identify as to which questions you have to solve. And I did that and it really helped. The verbal ability, the quant section, I think the good number of score or the good number of attempts in quants, I think, and I talked to many students at my center, good number of attempts would be around 22 to 25 again. That would be a good number of attempts. Excellent score may go up to 28, 30 as well, because one of my students who was with me there, he solved like 32 questions. So again, depends on how much strength you have in quants section. Again, even if you are not very strong at quants, you can easily solve 20 odd questions in quants. So last year we saw that DILR was very difficult and quants was not that difficult. This year we saw that DILR was easy and quants was a bit difficult than last year. It was not difficult, again I am saying. It was a bit difficult from last year comparatively, okay. If you have given a lot of mock papers, like if you have written Funda Cats and you have written mock papers from different coaching institutes like Time, IMS, Career Launcher and all. So their mock test was at par. In fact, this paper will not be rated as difficult as the national level mock tests. So again, people who have written a lot of mock tests will find the paper to be very easy, not very difficult, nothing to panic about. The pattern of the paper is unchanged. I don't think there is any reason to get panicked in the paper. Go with a calm mind. I'm sure you all will do wonderfully well. Make sure that your attempt should not be less than 60 combined together, all the 3 sections. And if you have 60 definitely correct, you will easily sail through the paper. I mean, with a very good percentile above 97, 98 or maybe maybe even it will touch even 99 sometime. There's a very high possibility. So that is all for the paper review. If you have not left for your centers, students, start leaving your centers. So start leaving for the centers right now. We have some parking problem. All those people who have got in Lucknow, if you have this center, Synco Learning Center at Tedhi Pulia, there's a lot of parking problem. Don't come with your own vehicle. Take some cab. Jankipuram, if you have your center, easily you have a lot of space available there. Same is with Azad, you have a lot of space available there. I think parking problem is with Synco Learning Center, Tedhi Pulia. That's it. Srishti Kukreti is asking me what is the cutoff you are expecting. I think the cutoff this year for 99 percentile, if you're asking me 99 percentile, 99 percentile this year will come around at 170. 170 would be a good score for a 99 percentile. Let's hope for the best. Any other question you can shoot me. I have 121 students watching. So any question if you have, I can directly, I'm live. Any question if you want to ask? Nothing. All right. So all the best. All the best. Again, I'll tell you the overview of the paper. English was moderate. DILR was moderate, not difficult. Moderate again. Quants was difficult from last time, but again the paper will be moderate, not very difficult. Okay. That's all for today. I'll give you the evening analysis as well. Thank you. Bye. Take care. And yes, don't forget taking GK material, which we are distributing at all the centers. So that GK material will be helpful for SNAP and TES and CMAT and the coming examinations, IFT and all. And plus we'll also be starting the GK sessions very soon. Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you all. All the best. Take care. Thank you. All right, Tushar Singh is asking, sir, what is a good attempt of questions overall? I told you 60 would be perfectly okay. 55 to 60 is a good number of attempt, right? Good number of attempt. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Thank you.